partner.
Oh, we just spend all day telling everyone how we customize car insurance because no two people are alike. So, yeah.
Liberty, liberty.
This is LSU Fighting Tiger Baseball. On the LSU Sports Radio Network. First pitch is moments away. And now, from the Republic Services broadcast booth with the call of the game, here is the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair.
A gorgeous Thursday night on tap here at the ballpark as we welcome you in to Skip Bertman Field, Alex Box Stadium. Game 1, LSU hosting Auburn for the final regular season series in SEC play here in mid-May 2019. Welcome into the broadcast. Our producer, Jeff Palermo, back in the Capital One studios, along with former Tiger champion Doug Thompson. Chris Blair with you here in the booth. Tigers on the field with their final warm-ups. Eric Walker about to toss, and then Auburn comes to the plate to get things started. As I mentioned, an absolutely beautiful day all day long here in Baton Rouge. Expecting good weather most of this weekend with this early series start on Thursday. Again, checking your game day forecast presented by AccuTemp Services, the official AC heating service partner of LSU Athletics. Here in Baton Rouge, currently 88 degrees just before first pitch at the ballpark. And again, sunshine is out, blue skies, and tonight it will be twilight and stars shining throughout the rest of the evening. So it should be good to go. Now coming up on Friday, much of the same with a high of 89. And then, of course, Saturday, a chance of rain, a little cooler, 84 degrees. But right now, everybody has their fingers crossed that we will get underway in Game 3 of this series coming at you at 2 o'clock. But first things first, it's Game 1. LSU hosting Auburn. Doug Thompson, this is of utmost importance. We've said it several times this year about important SEC series, but you heard Coach Paul Maneri just a few moments ago, made no bones about it with his young men and his team this week. 4 games remaining coming into this week to wrap up the regular season, and every game is monumental.
They're huge. I mean, you've got people out there predicting that LSU needs as little as 2 wins, as many as 5 wins to be able to host a regional. Of course, that's the goal. The goal here is to host a super regional, but they will likely not have a chance to do that this year. But it's got to start here with Eric Walker. I mean, I like him being able to step up into this role. He's had some big innings under his belt. This isn't an extremely powerful Auburn lineup, and Walker has been pitching better and better. Almost every outing, it seems like he gets a little sharper after returning from that season-ending injury a year ago.
Judd Ward going to lead it off for Auburn. A sophomore hitting .284, batting from the left side. Is Eric Walker ready to go? Winds and delivers. First delivery missing low and outside. First pitch coming at you, 6:33 Central Time.
Judd Ward, a .284 hitter. That's second on the team.
Walker with a 1-0 delivery. Fouled back into the screen, and it evens the count 1 ball and 1 strike. In fact, Ward has started 17 straight games in that leadoff spot. And since then, hitting .300, 21 for 70 during that span.
Yeah, he's 14 of his last 40 in his last 9 SEC games.
1-1 from Walker. This one misses a little low off speed there, and it's 2-1.
Actually, Ward leads the team in hitting in SEC play. A .306 hitter overall.
2-1. Slapped in the air and towards the seats in left, out of play. Evens the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crowd still coming into the ballpark here with a 6:30 start on a Thursday. Start to see the seats fill up as we move along. Ward at the plate, the 2-2 stays alive, sending this one back into the screen. Still an even count.
Yeah, slowly but surely they're still trickling in here for sure.
Walker looks in, gets the sign from Garza. The 2-2, hammered, ground ball foul right at first base. Still 2-2, so the leadoff hitter here, Judd Ward, making Walker work right out of the gate.
Yeah, Ward's a veteran. A sophomore, he started 21 games last season. He started 51 of 52 this year.
Walker, as Doug told you earlier, a 5.21 ERA, 4-4 his record on the year. The 2-2 delivery inside on the hands, and that will fill the count now, 3-2.
That just missed upstairs there. Not a bad try there by Walker.
So Ward works it full now. And Walker delivers. 3-2. Again, lifted foul left side, now to play. Fastball just got a piece of it, powers it into the seats and left. Still a full count, 3-2. Our home plate umpire, I should say, David Wiley behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Ken Langford at first, Ryan Moorhead at second. Richie Talent down the line at third. Here's the 3-2. Another high fastball. This time Ward can't stay away, and Walker records the strikeout. One down here in the top of the first inning. Every Tiger strikeout brought to you by Pull Apart. Pull Apart, a Tiger fan's favorite used auto parts store.
Walker got away with a high fastball there on the swing and a miss. Likely ball 4. Fastball's been 86 to 88 miles an hour.
Now Ryan Bliss stands in. The right-hander takes the first pitch, and he comes back with a fastball at 87. Right down the middle for an 0-1 count. Bliss has gone 6 for 12 with 5 runs scored in each of the last 2 SEC series, including going 3 for 3 with 4 runs scored in that series finale against Georgia. This one slapped back into the screen, and quickly Bliss falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, he was the freshman of the week last week following the Alabama series.
Infield playing straight away, outfield likewise for the Tigers. The 0-2 popped up, out of play behind the plate, still 0-2 to Bliss. Not much wind to speak of here at the ballpark. Flags fairly unfurled, but not blowing too hard out of the batter's eye in center field. One away, top of the first, just underway. The 0-2 to Bliss. Sails outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bliss hitting right at 300 in SEC play at 293, but he's been red hot over the last 6 series, batting 348.
The 1-2 from Walker. Slap, ground ball, and it gets by. The grab by Hughes and finds its way into left field. Took a hop there as Hughes was going to his left, away from the bag. And Bliss aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an E5. Have to watch it again here on the replay. It looks like Hughes just couldn't get in front of it. Ball might have taken a bad hop, but a play Hal Hughes usually makes. And they will give that an error.
So the Tigers had played 2 error-free ball games in a row. Pick up their first E5 here to start the top of the first inning. Bliss aboard. 9 of 11 in stolen bases. So Eric Walker going to be mindful now of the speedy Bliss at first base. Connor Davis now to the plate. Davis a right-hander. First delivery from Walker. Misses low and outside, 1-0.
Connor Davis is their offensive leader. Leads the team overall with a .304 batting average.
Garza gives the sign. Walker checks the runner, comes to the plate. Breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Scouting report says that Connor Davis has struggled with the spinning pitches from right-handed pitchers. That's why Walker's successful there with that slider. Davis will likely see several more of those tonight.
Now a quick throw over to first. Bliss able to jump back on the bag. Still 1-1 the count to Davis. 1-1 delivery to the plate. Strike on the inside corner. Walker ahead in the count now, 1-2. Auburn coming in after an 8-7 victory over North Alabama. Able to get the win in the bottom of the 11th inning on Tuesday night. Dropped 2 of 3 to Georgia. This past weekend, another toss over to first to keep an eye on Bliss. 1-2 the count to Connor Davis. 1 out, top of the first. No score. Walker from the stretch, the 1-2. Slam back into the screen. 1-2 the count to Davis.
From
base. Complexion changes here with 1 out. Walker, another full count this time against Connor Davis, the right-hander at the plate, and Eric going to step off the bump.
I think you got to come with a slider away here, Chris.
Walker checks the runner, now comes to the plate. Little ground ball, bouncer foul, third base side. Count remains 3-2.
He went with a fastball down and in there. 86 miles an hour.
One out, runner at second base, no score, top of the first inning. Walker again, the 3-2 pitch, missing outside and low. That'll be ball 4. Davis earns the walk, now runners first and second with 1 out. For Auburn, threatening here in the opening frame.
That wasn't a bad pitch there by Walker. Just missed off the outside corner with that slider. Actually, not the worst thing to happen, except for the pitch count, Chris. It's at 22 now, with only 1 out here in the first.
23rd base on balls given up by Walker on the season. And now you'll see Will Holland come to the plate. Holland, the cleanup hitter, shortstop for Auburn. Junior with a .253 average. And does have 7 home runs on the year. First pitch from Walker. Down the pike, called strike, 0-1. Wind picking up now, blowing fairly hard straight away towards Tiger Stadium in the distance.
Holland, a .253 hitter. He started 50 games this year.
The 0-1 delivery. Jammed him, popped up into the air. Foul territory, first base side. Chris Reed is there. Step away from the first base bag for out number 2. So Holland retired. That will bring up Matt Scheffler, the catcher. Again, not completely out of the woods yet for Walker. Runners first and second.
No, but that was huge. About the best thing that could happen other than a strikeout there. Gets the Tigers to 2 outs and a force at any base.
Scheffler, wide stance at the plate. Walker delivers. Missing outside with a fastball. It's 1-0. Scheffler awaits. Runners take their lead with 2 outs, the 1-0. Breaking ball popped up into the air. Garza going to give chase near the backstop and has room and holds on for out number 3. Just missed the screen, came straight down. Garza able to put a glove on it, and that'll do it for Auburn. They get no runs, no hits. They leave 2 men on, 1 error assessed to the Fighting Tigers. We're scoreless after a half inning. LSU comes to the plate. Smith, Watson, and Duplantis. When we continue, this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. LSU. Visit Progressive Tractor and Implement Company in Oakdale Motors. Test drive the Kubota zero-turn mowers today. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Tigers come to the plate. Auburn threatened with runners first and second, but a couple of pop-outs, foul territory, helped get Eric Walker and the Fighting Tigers to the dugout. Now it's up to Elliot Anderson, making just his second start on the season, but the big left-hander with a ton of appearances out of the bullpen, a 3.7 ERA and 5-1 his record on the season. Face off against Smith, Watson, and Duplantis for LSU to get things started here.
Second start of this season, but also the second start of his career. He's actually had 61 appearances. The other 59 have been out of the bullpen. Again, his fastball will sit 88 to 92 miles an hour. His slider will be in the low 80s. And he also has a changeup that will be 80 to 83 miles an hour.
Josh Smith to lead it off. Tigers shortstop batting .345 on the season. So he has 198th plate appearance.
Josh Smith, one of two players in this starting lineup with batting averages over 300 against lefties. Smith is hitting .305 against the southpaws.
Anderson ready to work. The first pitch, a fastball inside at the hands, misses for ball one. Smith over the last 5 ball games for LSU batting .278, 5 for 18 at the plate with a triple, 5 runs batted in. The 1-0 catches the outside corner. 91 on the gun. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Anderson with the wind and delivery, and chin music upstairs. Smith has to drop down to get out of the way. Another fastball high and tight. It's now 2-1.
Smith got a close look at this baseball. Probably got a good look at the seams as they whizzed by his nose. That was about as close as you can get.
2 balls, 1 strike. Anderson to the plate. Again, in on the hands. Now 3 balls, 1 strike to Smith. Defense for Auburn. Julian at third. Holland at short. Bliss at second base. Rankin Woley manning the first base bag. Ward, Howe, and Williams. Your outfield left to right. Behind the plate is Scheffler. Here's a ground ball foul towards the first base dugout. That will fill the count to Smith now, 3-2.
Of all the video the Tigers staff were able to watch on Elliot Anderson, only 33% of the pitches he threw were actually in the strike zone.
Anderson takes a step off the mound. Now he's back up on top. Stares into Scheffler, and the payoff delivery. Smack line drive, but right at Bliss at second base. And Auburn records out number 1. Smith hit it right on the screws, but right at Bliss for out number 1.
The ball was blistered. Zach Watson's the other guy with a batting average over 300. He's hitting .333s off left-handers. So a pretty good 1-2 punch here for the Tigers to start it off.
Watson trying to get going towards the bottom and into this season. First pitch, a bouncer foul, third base side. And it's 0-1. Struggled over the last 5 contests, batting just .118, 2 of 17 at the plate. The 0-1 delivery. Strike at the knees, and it's 0-2. The time Anderson dialed it back.
Well, that was a changeup there. It's rare that Anderson will go to the changeup, only against right-handers.
Watson now protecting at the plate with an 0-2 count. Anderson fires. Tried to nibble the outside corner, just missed. It's 1-2.
It's a big play there by Sal Garza to get Walker out of it.
Watson batting .320 against SEC competition as this fastball sails outside. Now evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that ball came down against the net. There couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 inches between the ball and the net. Nice job by Garza not giving up there.
2-2 delivery to Watson. Off speed, launched into the air to right field. Williams camping out underneath it, moves to his right, back to his left, and he has it for out number 2. Watson retired on the fly out to right. Now we'll bring Antoine Duplantis. Duplantis batting .350 over the last 5 contests and really has been red hot over the last 2. Had the big 3-run home run in the 8th inning to lift the Tigers over the Razorbacks on Saturday of last week to salvage at least avoiding a sweep. And then delivered a towering shot on Tuesday night for his 10th home run of the year.
Unbelievable.
Duplantis batting .319 against SEC pitchers as the first delivery from Anderson, fastball high for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch again rises high. 2 balls, no strikes.
Eric Walker, though, needed 26 pitches, Chris. That's the only concerning thing about that first inning. He battled through it. He avoided the inevitable 2 there. Put up a 0, but it was costly.
With 2 outs, the 2-0 to Duplantis. Ground ball down the line. Stays fair. Going to be handled by Woley at first base. He'll step on the bag for out number 3. So Anderson retires the Tigers in order. 1, 2, 3 they go. No runs, no hits, no baseball. First season here at LSU. First delivery, a called strike from Walker, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Woley started here in 2017, then went the junior college route last season.
The 0-1 popped up into the air between first and second base. Chris Reed calling for it, and Reed having to backpedal, just holds on for out number 1 to retire Woley. Woley out of the Atlanta area.
Actually, first team junior college All-American last year. And he was the Alabama Community College Conference Player of the Year.
Now Stephen Williams, the right fielder. Another left-hander in this lineup, stands in. Batting .237 on the year. First delivery from Walker misses high, and it's 1-0.
That was a quick out that Walker needed there to start off this second inning.
1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Dropped off the table to Williams, and it's 1-1. One pitch, swing and a miss. Perfectly placed, down and away, off speed. It's now 1-2.
That was a filthy changeup there from Eric Walker. Bottom just fell out of that thing as it finished up on the outside corner at the knees.
Williams batting .250 over the last 10 games for Auburn as he fouls this one off the hands and into the screen. Still 1-2 on that fastball inside from Walker. The 1-2 pitch sails upstairs, evens the count 2-2.
Vanderbilt's now way out front of Kentucky in the bottom of the 4th inning. They lead 9-0 over the Wildcats.
With 1 out, the 2-2. Again, staying alive is Williams. Puts this one back into the screen. Mentioned last week Auburn losing 2 of 3 to Georgia. Took out some offensive frustration the weekend before against in-state rival Alabama, including a 17-7 series clinching win in Game 3. Here's one hit a mile high into the air, deep to right field. Duplantis going back He'll make a leap and can't get up with it, but it comes off the top of the wall and never slowing down. Going into third with a triple off the top of the right field wall is Stephen Williams. That one kept flying and flying. Duplantis looked like he had an attempt to make a play. He would leap to the top of the fence. Comes down into the field. Watson picks it up, but again, Williams never slowed down. Easily made it into third.
Yeah, the wind barely blowing from right to left field. If it were moving in the other direction, I think that would have been a round tripper.
So Auburn with one out. Possibly the first run of the ball game, just 90 feet away. Edouard Julian now stands in, a left-handed hitter. Batting .239 with runners in scoring position. Infield playing in here with one out. First pitch missing with a fastball, 1-0.
Edouard Julian from Quebec City, Quebec. Second-year player for Auburn.
1-0 inside and low. Now 2 balls, no strikes.
Started 59 of 62 games last year for the Tigers.
Two-0 delivery to the plate. Hit high in the air again to right field. Duplantis going to have room, but it's fairly deep. Tagging up at third will be Williams, and he will easily score on the sac fly RBI from Julian, and Auburn takes a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. Julian drives in RBI number 45 of the season.
Yeah, Edouard Julian down there at the bottom of the lineup, hidden with 8 home runs.
Kason Howell now to the plate, batting in the 9 spot. Freshman hitting .274. First pitch trying to go opposite field, but he sends it foul. Catches the overhang down the line and right, and it's 0-1. Bases empty here with 2 outs, but a 1-0 Auburn lead. The 0-1 delivery. Fastball missing high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walker looks in. The 1-1 delivery. Blasted to right center field. Coming down quickly. Duplantis giving chase, and Antoine has it in right center for out number 3. So Duplantis being picked on here. As Auburn going to right field often in the top of the second inning. They come away with 1 run on 1 hit. They leave nobody on. They have a 1-0 lead. Fighting Tigers come to the plate next. It'll be Cabrera, Reed, and Hughes batting for the first time. And we continue. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. And Daniel quickly
In the SEC with those 12 home runs.
.40 strikeouts on the year. Something the coaching staff has talked about this season. Cabrera, the first to admit, a lot higher than he wanted to see in 2019. This one missing outside, 1-2. The count to the sophomore from right here in Baton Rouge. 1-2 delivery. Reaches the bat out and a foul ball. Dances down the first base line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't forget the Bayou Country Superfest coming back to legendary Tiger Stadium Memorial Day weekend, May 25th and 26th. Catch Kenny Chesney, Jason Aldean, Florida Georgia Line, Kane Brown, Dan and Shay, and many more. Get your tickets now for the Bayou Country Superfest coming soon. Once again to Tiger Stadium. 1-2 the count. Cabrera leading things off. And a swing and a miss. Nope, just got a piece of it. Barely made contact to stay alive. Off-speed pitch that time from Anderson. Cabrera lucky to be at the plate here, still with a 1-2 count.
We'll continue to paint the picture around the SEC throughout the course of this inning.
Anderson now gets the sign. The 1-2, swing and a miss, high fastball. hit on the hands. Cabrera down on strikes. 41st strikeout of the season for Cabrera, and one down. Anderson records a strikeout. That'll be his first on the night. Now Chris Reed coming to the plate. Reed batting in the 5 spot for the Tigers. The senior hitting .276. Reed struggling here of late, batting under 100 in the last 5 contests. First delivery, a fastball outside. It's 1-0, and that's really one of the rare slumps in his career, not just this season.
Yeah, but even though he went 0 for 3 Tuesday night, for example, he still reached base twice with walks.
The 1-0, again, missing outside from Anderson. 2 balls, no strikes.
Noteworthy to mention, Reed leads the Tigers with walks. And he has half the at-bats of the normal starters.
2-0 count. Anderson with the wind to delivery, and this time down the middle to make the count 2-1.
Painting the picture around the SEC, presented by Benjamin Moore Harrison Paint in Baton Rouge and Brasso's Hardware in Abbeville.
The 2-1 delivery. This one a strike. A lot of movement on that. Broke on the outside corner to Reed. It's now 2-2.
And Lexington, Kentucky scores a couple of runs. Might be too late, though. Vanderbilt leads them by a score of 9-2.
2-2 delivery. Lifted in the air to left center field. Having to give chase, but getting there in time is Ward. Looked like that one may be able to find a little crease out there in left field. But Ward really moving quickly, able to get to it. Solid play by the Auburn left fielder, and there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Arkansas is at College Station this weekend. In the top of the 4th inning, Razorbacks lead Texas A&M by a score of 3-0.
So Hal Hughes stands at the plate. Hughes, in fact, over the last 5 games, leads the Tigers, batting an even .400. Here's a strike at the letters, and it's 0-1. So Anderson now talked about scouting report having trouble throwing strikes, but here in the bottom of the 2nd, no problem. The 0-1 check swing into the screen, and just like that, Hal Hughes behind him, the count 0-2.
Well, and David Wiley, the home plate umpire, his strike zone is already starting to expand a little bit. We saw a couple pitches up in the strike zone from Eric Walker that were called balls, some even down below the knees. Looks like now some of those calls are starting to be called strikes.
With 2 outs, the 0-2. This is a called strike 3. Nope.
Oh.
Wow. Looked like Scheffler was headed towards the dugout. Home plate umpire David Wiley.
Oh, they were, for sure.
Raised up. And it looked like he was going to call it, but he did not. So Hal Hughes gets a break there, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, it was close, but you can't show the umpire up. Plenty of time to get to the dugout.
So Hughes gets another chance here, stands in. Anderson fires, and another swing and another foul ball out of play right side. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hughes, by the way, as I said, 10 at-bats over the last 5 games, 4 of 10 from the plate with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Again, went 3 for 4 last Saturday against Arkansas. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Way upstairs, evens a count 2-2.
Catch up on some other scores in Athens. Georgia leads Alabama by a score of 4-1 in the top of the 4th inning. Tennessee leads the Ole Miss Rebels right now 3-0 in Knoxville. That game's in the bottom of the 5th inning.
1-0 Auburn leads. Bottom of the 2nd inning with 2 outs. The 2-2, and staying alive, Hughes drops down to a knee and just gets a piece of that one. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
In Como, Florida and Missouri, still no score in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And then over in Starkville, South Carolina leads Mississippi State 1-0. And that game's in the bottom of the 2nd as well.
2-2 pitch. Ground ball, and it's foul. Just left of the third base bag. Julian going over, trying to get it with a backhand pick. And just before it touches his leather, third base umpire Richie Talent rules it a foul ball, so Hughes will come back still with a 2-2 count.
I'd like to get here's the replay, not sure. Yeah, I think he got that one right.
Luckily for Julian, he was playing behind the third base bag. So Hughes steps back in, trying to extend the inning here and avoid going 3 up, 3 down for the second straight. This one misses inside and low, and now after falling behind 0-2, Hal Hughes has worked it full.
Anderson now over 30 pitches. By the way, Walker is now to 41 after his 2 innings of work. 15 pitches needed in the second inning.
3-2 ground ball just right of second base. Bliss right there, comes up, throws to first in time, and the Tigers go in order once again. 1-2-3, no runs, no hits, nobody on base. We go to the top of the third. Auburn leads 1-0. Back to the box in a moment. This is to the plate, off speed, swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, that's his best pitch tonight, that changeup. He's thrown several good ones. 42 pitches now for Walker. Sorry about that, partner.
Last time at the plate, Ward made Walker work to start the top of the first inning. Eric eventually came away with a strikeout. This one missing outside. It's 1-1. One pitch, swing and a miss. That one up in the zone. The fastball gets by him. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now time called as Ward steps out. Sophomore out of Russellville, Alabama. Batting an even 300 over the last 9 SEC games, but here's a swing and a miss, and Walker gets him for a second time tonight. 1 down. Second strikeout recorded by Walker. Another pull-apart strikeout for the Tigers starter.
And that was an example of precision command there from Walker. Even if Ward would have been able to make contact, he wouldn't have been able to do much with it. Fastball maybe just off the edge below the knees.
Ryan Bliss now got aboard on a fielding error by Hal Hughes at third on a bouncing ground ball. Stands in. He'll take a swipe and fouls it off into the screen. It's 0-1. Ryan, the freshman out of LaGrange, Georgia, just across the line from Auburn, Alabama. This one missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Was named the SEC Freshman of the Week following the Alabama series. 1-1. Missing the low. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, that was only the 3rd error of the season committed by Hal Hughes.
Bliss got aboard. Able to advance on a wild pitch, but was left stranded. He's going to yank one into left field. Solid base hit. Cabrera goes to pick it up, mishandles it, gets away from him. Rolls all the way to the wall, and Bliss will go into second base. So it looks like a single and an error maybe allowing him to make it to second. It's going to be an E on a fielding error against Cabrera in left field. That's very rare. Just kind of lifted his head at the last moment. Didn't watch it into the glove, and it took a shot off the leather and then off his leg and rolled all the way to the wall.
Yep, 3rd error there for Cabrera as well. Very rare indeed.
Connor Davis out of Roswell, Georgia. Stands in from the right side with 1 out, runner and Ryan Bliss down at second base. Walker to the plate. Missing outside. 1-0.
Davis also had a long at bat against Walker, eventually drawing a walk. Got it to a 3-2 count.
Davis delivered that walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th inning in Game 2 against Georgia. It's his 2nd walk-off of the season. Davis will step out, calls for time. LSU trailing 1-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Bliss with a sizable lead off second. Here's the 1-0. Again missing outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes. Bliss, as we told you, advanced to second on that wild pitch, but coming into this weekend, 9 of 11 in stolen bases. Eric Walker comes set on the mound with a 2-0 count. To the plate. Little slow bouncer to Hughes at third. He'll look the runner back to second. Toss to first, and coming off the bag is Reed, but he applies the tag on Davis to secure out number 2. Heads up play by the Tiger first baseman. It keeps Bliss at second base, and now with 2 outs, we'll see Will Holland, who's 0 for 1 so far tonight. Had that fly ball, foul territory to Reed at first base his last time up.
Yeah, great footwork over there by Chris Reed, who has not played first much at all this season. I think this is only his 3rd game at first base. That's a very difficult play to throw up the line to catch it and make the tag on a runner, of course, running by full speed.
Now with 2 outs, top of the 3rd, Auburn still threatening with Bliss at second base. Holland awaits. Walker from the stretch brings it to the plate. Pops straight up into the air. Going under it is Brant Broussard. He calls for it between first and second and able to hold it in for out number 3. So again, Auburn threatens. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base in scoring position. Tigers trail 1-0. 1 error committed to the Tigers, their second of the ball game. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Cade Beloso to lead it off, followed by Broussard and Garza. 7, 8, 9 hitters. It's 1-0 Auburn. This is Fighting Tiger baseball. Toss. Cade Beloso leads it off for LSU. Bottom of the 3rd inning. They trail Auburn 1-0. Tigers yet to pick up a hit through 2 times at the plate against Elliot Anderson, the left-hander. First pitch to Beloso. Low and inside for ball 1 with a fastball.
Cade has really struggled over his last 5 games. Only 2 of 14 at the plate.
1-0 pitch. Off speed. Beloso had an idea but held back, and it's now 2-0.
Well, here's a hitter's count. Good time to come out of a slump.
Two 0 to the plate. Fastball for a strike. 2-1. Wind now shifting directions. It's been blowing right to left, but now blowing directly towards the video board high above the left field seats. The 2-1. High and inside. Now 3-1 to Cade Beloso.
I'd like to see Cade come unglued here. Probably going to get a fastball.
3-1 pitch. Ground ball, chopper to second. Bliss going to handle it with the glove. Throw to first in time to Woolley. And Beloso retired on the 4-3 ground out. There's 1 away. While I have a moment here, I want to send out a personal congratulations to my son, Crafton Christopher, who just found out he's going to be a member of the Lee High School Patriot baseball team today.
Nice.
Headed into 9th grade coming up in August.
Pitcher, shortstop, outfielder?
At all. Here's a first pitch called strike to Brant Broussard. It's 0-1. The 0-1 misses inside, gets away from the catcher Scheffler, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And Anderson here, kind of the storyline early on, still a lot of baseball to play, but now is retired. 7 straight for LSU. The 1-1 belted to center field. Howe coming over, moving to his left, and the Auburn center fielder has it for out number 2.
Now I'm checking my text over here, and I'm a little upset that Uncle Doug didn't get the text from Crafton. Hey, how quickly they forget about the little people, you know?
Oh, I'm sure you'll hear.
We need a hit.
You'll hear about it early and often.
This is my pick to click this weekend. Saul Garza has homered in each of the last 3 SEC series.
With 2 outs, first pitch to Garza, takes a big healthy cut but sends it foul out of play right side, and it's 0-1.
Elliot Anderson has been perfect through 2 2/3.
Here's a ground ball, sharply hit, base hit. Gets by Holland at shortstop into left center field, and Garza. It's the first hit of the ball game against Anderson. And with 2 outs, the Tigers have a man aboard.
Nice job there. Mistake from Anderson. Was looking to throw a fastball in the outside corner there. Left it right over the middle. Garza drove it where it was pitched, right back up the box. Tigers are on the board with a hit. Josh Smith actually probably has had the hardest hit ball of the game. Get his second chance.
So with 2 outs, Garza at first. Here's the pitch, missing high for ball 1.
Smith almost tore the glove off of Bliss out at second base in his first at bat.
Smith with the lead off first. Anderson to the plate, the 1-0. Check that Garza off at first. And here's a strike at the letters to Josh Smith to even it up 1-1. One delivery. Down in the dirt. Nicely done by Scheffler to keep it in front of him. It's now 2 balls, 1 strike. Smith no stranger to late inning rallies. In fact, this entire Tiger club no stranger to that this season. Trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Garza with a lead off first, the 2-1. Belted, ground ball, Bliss diving for it, but it sneaks through. Garza puts on the brakes at second base. Smith with his first single of the game, now back-to-back singles. And the Tigers have runners first and second, their biggest threat, obviously, of the night here in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 out.
You got to take advantage here. Zach Watson again, .330 hitter against left-handed pitchers. See if Watson can get ahead in the count like Garza and Smith did and get a pitch to hit.
Watson stands in. Garza at second. Smith at first. 2 down. Anderson feeling the pressure for the first time tonight. Delivers. And it's
yeah, it's a tough pitch to lay off of there for Watson. Looked like a strike until the very last second. Fell out of the strike zone.
Back-to-back singles for the Tigers here. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. They trail 1-0. 2-1 count to Watson. The 2-1. Hit in the air, base hit over the head of Holland at short. They're going to wave Garza in. Ward comes up throwing and off the mark at the plate. Garza in with a head first slide, and we're tied 1-1 as Watson delivers the RBI. Smith on his way in gets to third base. And here's another 2-out rally for the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Watson with RBI number 31 on the year.
Run number 350 comes around to score to tie it up here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. I can't lie, Chris, when I saw Big Saul coming around third base, I was a little bit nervous. Thankfully, that throw way up the line and off the plate let Garza score easily, and the Tigers with 2 outs, as we've seen them do many times.
56 runs batted in on the year. Now Anderson going to throw over, keep an eye on Watson. Not a huge lead by Zach that time.
51 pitches already, the 4th most he's thrown all season. But he has thrown in the low 70s 3 consecutive times. He went 4 innings in each of those appearances.
Duplantis grounded out down the line at first base his first time up. Here's the pitch. Duplantis smokes one into right field. That'll bring in Smith. Watson tearing up the dirt around second on his way into third. Throw cut off. They'll throw it back to first. And Duplantis a head first slide back in safely. And the Tigers take a 2-1 lead. All coming with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Heads up base running there by Antoine Duplantis, who when he saw the throw heading to third base for Watson, had in his mind to make it to second, but a good job there of checking up, getting back to the bag. As a heads-up cutoff and relay back to first base nearly got him at the bag, which would, of course, ended the inning.
4 singles in a row, all coming with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and the Tigers have their first lead 2-1. Hitless after retiring 8 batters, now 4 hits in a row off Anderson, and we'll see action start to get up in the bullpen for Auburn down the way in line up.
For the Tigers, Tennessee.
One ball, 2 strikes, runners on the corners with 2 outs. Tigers up 2-1, bottom of the third, and again Anderson will make the throw over to first. Anderson with a 1-2 pitch. Bouncer up the middle. It's 5 base hits in a row. Coming in to score for the Tigers will be Watson. Duplantis puts on the brakes at second base, but Cabrera delivers the RBI single. His 46th run batted in of the season, and it's now 3-1 LSU.
5 singles in a row. You won't see that very often, especially with 2 outs. As bad a luck as the Tigers had their first time through the lineup, everything is finding grass at this point. Eric Walker going to have to hustle down to the bullpen. He wants to get a couple extra throws in. Back
to the third. Green light is on, but he fouls it out of play left side, and it's 3-1.
Fastball there, hit hard.
So now Reed stands in with a 3-1 count. Anderson from the stretch fires to the plate. Chopping ground ball coming in is the shortstop, Holland, right of second base, and he can't hold on to it. It sails into center field. And the Tigers extend their lead. Duplantis off and running with 2 outs, comes around third to score, and it's now 4-1.
You know, I'm not sure that's not a single either, Chris. That was a very tough play for Holland to make with the base runner getting to the bag at the same time. Cabrera was sliding into second base as Holland was moving on that side of second base toward the first base line. We'll see here what they decide to give it, and they do. They give it an error on Holland. I think that's a tough one.
Bliss was charging in from second. Again, the bouncer was over the mound right of second base, but Bliss yields to the shortstop, Holland, who came across in front of the bag. And on the short hop, just got it with the heel of the glove, but it bounces on into center field. Again, Duplantis, plenty of speed to get around and score from second base, and it's now 4-1. Runners on the corner, still 2 outs. To the plate, ground ball, Hughes to second base, and Ryan Blinn able to come up with it and toss to first, and finally put the Tigers of LSU in the dugout. But 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error committed by Auburn, and it's now 4-1 Fighting Tigers. We go to the top of the 4th inning. We'll return in a lead now. First delivery, a called strike to Matt Scheffler, the catcher for Auburn. Scheffler stands in for the second time tonight. Looks at an 0-1 count. Walker fires. Off speed, drops in low and outside, 1-1.
5 of 9 outs for Eric Walker in this ball game have been fly ball outs. 6 of 9.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. Walker gets ahead now, 1-2. So far through 3 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 run. Tigers committed Of course, 2 errors early on. One of those, that 1 run was earned, however. Here's a swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Scheffler. Walker records his 3rd strikeout of the night. Another pull-apart strikeout for the Fighting Tigers starter, and there's 1 away here in the top of the 4th.
Couple nasty off-speed pitches there from Walker. Perfectly executed, both down below the knees.
Rankin Woley to the plate. First pitch, a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. Woley popped out to Chris Reed between first and second base, his first time up. Here's the 0-1. Slap to center field. Watson having to go back, and Watson in front of the track has room for out number 2. So sharply hit by Woley, but he's 0 for 2 now on the night, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the 4th inning. Things looking a little more efficient for Eric Walker here.
Yeah, 2 quick outs, and he needed it. Started off the inning with 53 pitches. He's up to 59 now, which if you can get through the 4th with 60, 63 pitches, that's not bad. About 15 pitches an inning.
Steven Williams stands up. He had a triple his first time up. Came in to score the first run and a lone run for Auburn. As here's a strike from Walker to make it 0-1 on a sac fly RBI from Julian, who follows him in the lineup. Took one off the top of the wall in right. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Fastball perfectly placed about belt high and on the outside corner.
Every pitch this inning has been perfectly placed. Walker is dialed in.
2 outs and an 0-2 count. The wind and delivery on its way. And a swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Williams. 4th strikeout of the night for Eric Walker. Puts down Auburn in order here in the top of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody on base. It's a 4-1 LSU lead. We go to the bottom of the 4th. This is Fighting Tiger baseball. Away from Alec the plate. It's time now for the LSU Baseball Junior Announcer Program, brought to you by the Louisiana Dairy Farmers, proud sponsor of LSU Athletics, who remind you, pick up some milk today for 9 essential vitamins. Strong bodies drink milk. Cade Beloso going to lead things off for the Tigers here. Elliot Anderson still out on the mound for Auburn, and the first pitch slammed right back into the screen as Beloso gave everything he had on that swing.
That was a healthy hack.
Beloso grounded out to Bliss at second base his first time up, and here's one launched in the air to right field. Williams going back. This one's not coming back. Cade Beloso with a deep shot to right field. His 9th home run of the year. And the Tigers extend the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
That was a no-doubter. And if that first swing were any indication, perhaps Elliot Anderson should have been a little more careful with the second pitch. I like that kind of at-bat.
5-1 LSU. And now Brant Broussard stands in.
All right, so Broussard's now in for Hughes. Nope, sorry.
Brant flied out to center. The 1-1. Ground ball towards second base. Glenn coming over to his left. Nice play, and the throw to first in time. Broussard retired on the 4-3 ground out. Glenn's been pretty busy on the right side of the infield tonight for Auburn.
Yeah, Bliss he's 5 ground balls now that he has retired. They've all been about the same play.
Saul Garza out of the plate. Saul started that 2-out rally there in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Picked up a base hit. His 21st of the season. So dig back in as Anderson delivers. Missing high for ball 1 with a fastball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch off speed. Again, elevated, misses for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes.
The wind's just right for a deep fly ball to left center right now.
Two-0. Smack and a base hit right through the 6-hole into left field. Garza with his second hit of the night and as many at bats. And with 1 out, he's aboard.
2 for 2. That'll help the old average. I'd like to see the big guys start to swing the bat. Any production from the bottom of the lineup for LSU is a plus. That's where they have struggled most this year.
Josh Smith now, who had a base hit, came around to score in that 3rd inning, stands in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch launched high into the air, foul territory. Up the line between home and third. The catcher, Scheffler, going to call for it, and he'll have it for out number 2. So Smith trying to be aggressive with the first pitch offered. Misses on it, sends it straight up into the air. And now Zach Watson, who also picked up his first hit that drove in a run back in the 3rd.
Yeah, Smith just missed that one. Just was sitting dead red, got a fastball. Just swung right underneath it.
Watson, as we touched on, has had success all season against left-handed pitchers. Anderson will face him once again with 2 outs and a runner on. The pitch is outside. Fastball missing, so stop. Zach Watson. Two outs, bottom of the 4th inning. 5-1, LSU up. 3-1 to Watson. Big hit into the gap, left center field. Going to get down. Garza around second. They'll wave him on into third. Watson quickly gets back to first base as the throw comes into Blinn at second. And Watson with another 2-out single here in today's game. Runners on the corners. And Antoine Duplantis, who got in on the act back in the 3rd inning with a base hit and an RBI. This might be all for Elliot Anderson as another meeting out here on the mound.
Yep, I think that's going to be it. They will call the left-hander in. It's going to be Bailey Horn.
Pitching change by Auburn, powered by Sunshine and John Deere. Visit sunnyquip.com/tailgate before May 15th. Enter the Tailgate Like a Tiger giveaway. 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th. Tigers up 5-1 and threatening with runners on the corners. Antoine Duplantis coming to the plate. We'll continue in a moment. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.
Hey, Tiger.
As we continue on this Thursday night, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. You're listening to Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Back inside the Republic Services broadcast booth high above Skip Bertman Field, Alec Box Stadium on a Thursday night. Game 1, Auburn and LSU. Along with our producer, Jeff Palermo, Doug Thompson, Chris Blair, happy to have you with us tonight on the Radio Network and SEC Network Plus. LSU leading 5-1. They trailed 1-0 early, but got 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cade Beloso with a solo shot to right field extends the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning to make it 5-1. And the Tigers, who scored all 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 outs in the inning, with a chance to add to it here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, but runners on the corners with Garza 2 for 2 on the night at the plate, and Watson, who is 2 for 3. Garza at 3rd, Watson at first base, and Antoine Duplantis, who's 1 for 2, had a base hit with an RBI and came around to score back in that 3rd inning.
Bailey Horn going to make his 13th appearance of the season.
Horn to the plate. Fastball misses outside. The left-handed hitting Duplantis, and it's 1-0.
Actually, check that. This will be his 14th appearance. His 12th out of the bullpen. He enters with a 9.35 ERA. He is 2-0. In 17 1/3 innings of work, he's allowed 23 hits, 18 earned runs. He has 9 walks and 13 strikeouts.
1-0 delivery. Big swing and a miss by Duplantis. Duplantis waits on the payoff delivery. Horn to the plate. Another breaking ball and a swing and a miss. Duplantis down on strikes. And that'll do it for LSU. However, they add to their lead. A solo shot from Beloso. 1 run on 3 hits. They leave 2 men stranded. Go down to the top of your ticket out. Pitch count over the last couple of innings on the mound, especially the top of the 4th. Very efficient. Here's a first pitch swing and a miss to Edouard Julien, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, he's been really good in terms of pitch count since that 1st inning. He only needed 9 pitches to get through the 4th. He threw 8 strikes.
The 0-1. Strike on the outside corner. And he jumps ahead 0-2.
Threw 26 in the 1st inning, needed 15 to get through the 2nd. Only 12 in the 3rd, and then again 9 back in inning number 4.
The 0-2 delivery. Misses high. Staying away from the elevated fastball is Julien, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Julien, by the way, had the sac fly RBI to score that run. Williams had the triple back in the 3rd. Julien took one deep to right field. The 1-2 fouled off and into the screen. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Walker looks in. Julien awaits the 1-2. Again, stays alive. Fouls this one to the overhang just above the 3rd base dugout. Drops down in the crowd. Another 1-2 pitch. Comes in low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a great take there.
Leading things off, Julien awaits on a 2-2. And misses high. Now will fill the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Julien coming into the weekend leads the team with 44 runs driven in. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He chased one out on the outer half. He was off balance, but still made the swing, and Walker records the strikeout. That'll be his 5th on the night, and there's 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning.
Starting to remind me of the start against Mississippi State Eric Walker had.
Kason Howell to the plate, and the first pitch missing low. Ball 1-1-0.
Walker went 7 innings against State, only gave up 4 hits and no runs. He was dialed in the entire ball game.
Howell is first time up in the second, flied out to right. Here's a chopping ground ball to short. High glove handled by Smith. Long throw in time to Chris Reed for the 6-3 ground out. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. Smith did not move, waited on that ball to get to him, and then whips it across. We talk about the fielding of Josh Smith and his time here at LSU, and a lot of times you lose sight of the fact that he's got an absolute cannon over there at shortstop.
Well, he's about as good as they come in the SEC.
This is high. Got a for ball. Another payoff delivery. It misses inside for ball 4. So Walker, with 2 outs, gives up the walk. Just his second base on balls tonight. And we'll see Ryan Bliss, the second baseman, who's 1 for 2. Stranded both occasions.
80th pitch with the no move.
7. At the
come with your best pitch here.
Has his team down 5-1, middle innings. 2-2, popped up into the air, shallow right field. Duplantis coming in, and he'll have it for out number 3. Auburn, no runs, no hits. They leave 1 man on. We go to the bottom of the 5th here at the box. It's 5-1 LSU. This is Fighting Tiger baseball. One error committed by Auburn so far tonight. Here's the 0-1 to Cabrera. High fastball and a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. So Bailey Horn, a little uptick with his fastball compared to Anderson, who started the game. Both left-handers on the mound here for Auburn. And Cabrera, the leadoff hitter, behind in the count. Here's the 0-2. Belts this one down the line, foul in left field. Still remains no balls, 2 strikes.
LSU 5th overall in the SEC in terms of defense. A 978 fielding clip. Auburn is in 9th place at 973.
The 0-2 delivery, a fastball missing high and outside, makes it 1-2. One-two to Cabrera. Hit high and deep to right center field. Giving chase. The center fielder, Howell, able to make the play on the track. Had room to work with. Off the bat, it looked good from Cabrera, but stays within the walls of the park, and there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
For a minute there, I thought that was lucky number 13. It had the look and sound. But Chris, I think that wind might have knocked it down a little bit. It's blowing from right to left.
Chris Reed to the plate. Reed 0 for 2. Got a board on an error by Holland on a little bouncer towards the second base bag.
I know
Reed.
The 3rd inning. You remember me saying that, right?
Indeed. 2-0 to Reed. Launch to center field. Howell again will settle over it as the wind carries it towards left center, but he's got it for out number 2. Reed retired on his second flyout of the night.
How about this? Kentucky leads it now 10-9 in the top of the 8th. Wildcats scored 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 6th, and they just put a 5 spot on the board in the bottom of the 7th.
2 outs. There.
1 over Missouri and Como. They're in the top of the 6th inning.
With 2 outs, the 0-2 to Hughes. Little bouncer down the line at 3rd, and Julian can't get to it. Kind of turned inside trying to catch it with the glove and just got by him into left field. That may be the second error there against the Auburn Tigers. And And with 2 outs, Hal Hughes is aboard.
It almost looked like he kind of lost his footing there. Just a total sniper play over there. And that will.
Cade Beloso had the solo home run his last time up to right field. His 9th of the year. Stands in. Horn to the plate. The 0-1. Again, was the everyday first baseman until an ankle injury going into that Auburn, or rather Arkansas series. Now been the DH for the last several ball games. 2 outs, runner at first. The 0-2 off the end of the base.
Thereby.
Takes a 3-step lead off the bag. Beloso facing an 0-2 count with 2 down. Scheffler setting up outside to the left-hander, and the pitch comes in, and it's right there for a swing and a miss. Gets away from Scheffler. He'll pick it up. Throw to first in time for out number 3. So the Tigers, no runs, no hit. In the right field bullpen, Todd Peterson loosening up. One-0 delivery. Drops in low. Now 2 balls, no strikes to Davis.
There's an indicator there on what Paul Maneri may be hoping for on Sunday's or Saturday's matchup.
2-0 delivery. Pop straight up into the air. Third base side. Hughes going back. Now Josh Smith coming in, and the shortstop calling for it. 1 step on the left field grass. He has it for out number 1, and Davis retired.
Chris, if you don't see Zach Cash pitch tonight, you got to think that Paul Maneri has in his mind to hold him until Sunday. Would you agree with that?
I think that is.
Or is the
lead
just too big right now to have Hess up throwing?
Well, now you propose another little nugget there that you had me going with you. With 1 out, Will Holland to the plate, takes a big healthy cut, but a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Holland on the night. Flied out foul territory, first base side in the first, and then popped out to Brant Broussard at second base, his last time up in the third. The 0-1 hit a mile high into the air to left field. This ball carrying back there. On the track, though, Watson has room, and Zach Watson has it for out number 2. That one off the bat with the wind blowing right to left. Gave a lot of Tiger fans pause. But once Watson dug in his heels on the track, it appeared he would make the play, and he does.
10th fly ball out of the night for Eric Walker.
Down, top of the 6th. Scheffler 0 for 2 on the night. This one slapped towards right center field. Watson coming over quickly. Watson has it with the glove for out number 3. That one off the bat looked like a sure gapper, but Watson takes it away, and Auburn goes in order. No runs, no hits, nobody on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. LSU up 5-1. This is Fighting Tiger baseball. In game 1 of a Tigers with 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to take the 4-1 lead. They added 1 more in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 5-1. Brant Broussard to lead it off, and the first pitch, a called strike from Bailey Horn. Give up a hit. Base coming.
Update our listeners on around at the SEC is Mississippi State and South Carolina. Bulldogs lead 9-2 in Starkville. They're in the bottom of the 5th.
The 1-2 high fastball launched in the air near second base. Coming over is Blinn, the second baseman, will make the grab for out number 1, and Broussard is retired.
Painting the picture around the SEC, presented by Benjamin Moore, Brasso's Hardware in Maurice, and your local Stein.
Saul Garza, 2 for 2 on the night, sitting down in the 9 spot for Coach Paul Maneri. In the 3rd from Saul Garza. The plate has really been what has led to this uptick in the performance from Saul Garza. Done a very different job here of late. Takes this one high and deep to left field. That will do it for home run number 5. See ya. as I was saying, the discipline at the plate has been spectacular. And Saul Garza makes it a 6-1 Tiger lead with the second solo shot of the ball game.
Well, he's taking better swings now in hitters' counts. He's fouling off pitches. You saw right there, fouled a couple off. He took the high fastball, which we saw him swing at earlier in the season when he came back from that knee injury. But, partner, that was an absolute bomb. And I think somebody before the game picked Saul Garza to have a big weekend. I don't know who that was, but it was somewhere. I thought I heard that.
Josh Smith now atop the order with one out. First pitch missing outside and low. Credit is due. And he's 3 for 3, a couple of singles, and a solo home run that the ballpark didn't hold and the left field landing didn't hold. Completely out of the park on that smash. The 1-0. Off speed, inside corner called strike to Smith. It's 1-1.
Yeah, there's not a ballpark on planet Earth that would have held that one. Can't wait to see the flight information there.
The 1-1. Line drive, but right at Blinn. And Blinn for the second time tonight able to take a line drive off the bat of Josh Smith for out number 2.
Man, that was a bomb.
See Zach Watson come to the plate, and Watson basically. So let's go to your old baseball philosophy here. You got a batter struggling coming into this weekend.
Oh, green light all the way.
2 for 3.
It's a no-brainer.
Can't even get the question out.
Hit it over the scoreboard.
Watson awaits the 3-0 delivery from Horn. Takes a swing, but a ground ball down the line. Julian handles it at third. The throw across the diamond in time for out number 3. However, Saul Garza strikes for a solo home run. Tigers get 1 run on 1 hit. It was a big one. It's now 6-1 Tigers lead. We go now to the top of the 7th inning. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.
Your 4 time.
Misses inside. Now make it 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 pitch. Right on the Saturday's game 3. We'll get started at 2 o'clock. The 3-1. Outside and high. Walker going to give up the walk. That'll be his third base on balls as Woolley heads down to first base. That's going to bring Paul Maneri out of the dugout. Eric Walker with a fine performance in a start here tonight. Going to wrap it up here with nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. And already the crowd starting to swell and on their feet for a great performance by Walker on the mound.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I know this crowd very well, and they will be on their feet for him. They give him the ovation he deserves. 95 pitches from Eric Walker tonight. He allows 2 hits and 1 run. What a performance on a night that the Tigers desperately needed their starter to get deep into the ball game.
Tigers make the first delivery. Fastball misses outside at 94. TP just getting warmed up here. It's 1-0.
Old school stirrups there. Chris Blair loves that look.
Indeed.
Peterson making his 24th appearance of the season. That leads all Tiger pitchers.
The 1-0 comes
with Dave.
This one listed
7.
Close. 434 over the left field landing. The 3-0 doesn't get to the plate, and it's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. 1 from Walker, now 1 from Peterson. And Auburn now has runners first and second. Nobody out in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, like this is what can't happen. You've got to make Auburn hit 4 balls at 434 feet like Garza did to be able to tie this game. You absolutely can't put them on for free. And those 20s you have to play.
A breaking pitch there from Peterson. It's 0-1.
This guy's dangerous down in the 8th spot. Leads Auburn with 8 home runs and 45 RBIs.
The 0-1, a fastball, a little slow chopper, going to be tough. And in betweener, picked up by Broussard. Peterson rushing to first base, able to cover in time for out number 1. Wholey advances to third. Williams down to second base. So with 1 out, a little more than a swinging bunt there, but could have been a disastrous play based on where it bounced. But a good job by Broussard and Peterson to record the out.
And that was the key. Todd Peterson hustling over and delaying his time to first base for Brant Broussard to be able to get to the ball. That in-between play, we've seen it so many times be unsuccessful for a defense. Great play there by Peterson.
So now Auburn trailing 6-1. 2 runners in scoring position. It'll be Kason Howell at the plate, who's 0 for 2. A swing and a miss. It gets away from Garza. Coming up the line, the throw down to third, and it looks like they get him. Wholey came halfway down the third base line. Garza a little slow to come up with it. And I think Wholey thought he might sneak in, and then once Garza turned around, Wholey knew he was dead to rights. And the throw down to Hughes for the easy tag, and there's 2 gone. And what was 2 runners in scoring position now leaves Auburn with 1 down at second base.
Yeah, a little too aggressive there for Rankin Wholey. Should have waited it out a little longer before charging toward home. Garza just couldn't find it at first, but it wasn't very far away.
The 0-1 launched into the air. Foul territory, right field. Duplantis giving chase, and in front of the bullpen. Can't hold on. Had the glove up, but it comes loose. It falls down to the track in foul territory. It'll be an 0-2 count now to Howell, who gets another chance to come to the plate.
You never see that. Duplantis, not that that's an error, and that's a very difficult play. Probably had to run a solid 50, 60 yards just to be able to get his glove on that ball. But you rarely see Antoine Duplantis drop a fly ball that's hit anywhere.
Williams back to second base for Auburn. It's an 0-2 count with Howell at the plate, now 2 outs. Peterson rears back, fires. Ground ball going over. Hughes gloves it at third. Throw to first, smooth as silk for out number 3. So Auburn threatens, but a base running mistake. And a great play at third by Hal Hughes. No runs, no hits. 1 error committed by the Tigers, but they keep a 6-1 lead as we stretch it out here. Your full-service engineering, project management, and technical services firm. They've garnered a reputation for delivering unparalleled service. So before your next project, visit hargrove-epc.com. Learn why they are the right people in the right place at the right time. Antoine Duplantis going to lead it off. He's 1 for 3 tonight as we hit the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-1, LSU leading over Auburn here in Game 1 of the final weekend series in SEC play. The 0-1, low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Unfortunately, Duplantis served the error on attempting for that foul ball off of the bat of Howell in the right field bullpen. Strike on the deck. Here's the 1-2 to Duplantis. This time high and deep to right field. Williams going to give chase, but he will just admire it. Solo shot for Antoine Duplantis to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. Home run number 11. It's 7-1 Tigers.
I'm starting to expect Antoine Duplantis to hit home runs at this point. Bonafide power hitter now in the top 10 of the SEC.
They tracked that one at 407 feet over the right field wall into the Dow Diamond deck.
And the camera just picked up Brother Mondo. He was fired up in the stands as Antoine touched home plate.
10th hit of the night for LSU. Again, 7-1 as Daniel Cabrera stands in. He's 1 for 3 tonight. First delivery, launched to left field, coming in and down on a knee with a great play. Coming up with it is Ward out in left field. Having to go to his left and drop down as that ball was decreasing quickly. And there's one away as Cabrera retired. And now we'll see Chris Reed, who's 0 for 3 tonight.
We've seen a couple nice plays tonight by Ward. He's covered some ground.
First pitch from Horn on its way. In for a strike. Breaking ball right over the inside corner. It's 0-1. The 0-1 line drive right at Ryan Bliss. That's the third liner that Bliss has handled tonight. And there's two gone just like that. Reed retired.
Yeah, they're going to have to replace the web of his glove. 15 and
2-1. How?
And he only had 17 innings under his belt.
2-1. Hal Hughes puts a charge into this one. Back to the wall. Ward makes a leap. And Ward able to pull it down at the top of the wall in left. Another sensational play made by the Auburn left fielder who just robbed a possible extra base hit, if not a couple of inches away from a home run for Hal Hughes, who just smiles on his way back to the dugout. Sending out special thanks to Hancock Whitney for sponsoring the Paul Maneri Show this season, live from TJ Ribs right here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Top of the order for Auburn, due up here in the top of the 8th inning. Judd Ward going to lead it off, and Ward making some great plays in left field tonight for Auburn, including very close to robbing a home run. Hal Hughes to end it there in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch from Peterson missing for ball 1. 1-0 to Ward. Misses outside. It's quickly 2 balls, no strikes. Ward tonight, strikeout victim in the first and the third. Earned a walk off Eric Walker there in the 5th inning. Peterson rocks and fires the 2-0. A fastball for a strike in 94, and it's 2-1. Walker again tonight. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. 2-1 ground ball right at first base. It's foul, and it's a 2-2 count.
Todd Peterson's fastball, 93 to 95 miles an hour. That's about the standard for the big guy.
Ward, the left-hander, awaits the 2-2. Misses high and outside. This one 95 on the gun, and it fills the count to Ward, 3-2. Payoff delivery, missing high for ball 4. Peterson gives up the walk to the leadoff hitter Judd Ward. Auburn has a runner aboard. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Back inside the Republic Services broadcast booth, Ryan Bliss now, the second baseman for Auburn, takes the first pitch for Peterson, and it's 0-1. Welcome you back in, along with our producer, Jeff Palermo, Doug Thompson, Chris Blair, coming to you on the LSU Sports Radio Network and SEC Network Plus this Thursday night. 7-1 Tigers lead, and here's a strike on the inside corner. Breaking pitch there from Peterson, and he gets ahead of Bliss, 0-2.
I tell you, Chris, if Peterson's able to have a quick inning here with a 6-run lead, I would seriously consider pulling him out of the game to have him for later this weekend.
The 0-2 called, strike 3 on the inside corner. Bliss down on strikes as Peterson records his first K of the evening. Another pull-apart strikeout for the Tigers. 1 gone with a runner on in the top half of the 8th frame.
By the way, that was absolutely filthy. You're up there looking for a 95-mile-an-hour heater, and you get a slider in there at 82 right down the middle. Good luck.
Connor Davis, who's 0 for 2 tonight, earned a walk back in the first inning. 1 of 3 given up by Walker in his start tonight. Here's another breaking pitch for a strike. Davis now going to dig back in, settle in with an 0-1 count. Ward with a leadoff first, and here's a swing and a miss. Couldn't hold back as Davis. And another breaking pitch that drops off to the right-handed hitter. It's now 0-2. Peterson comes set. One out, runner at first. The 0-2 delivery. High fastball, swing and a miss. 96. Dialed up by Todd Peterson. Back-to-back strikeouts, his second on the night. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, those last 2 plate appearances and the 6 pitches Todd Peterson threw, just about any hitter on earth would have trouble putting those pitches in play. They were almost perfect.
Will Holland, who's 0 for 3. First pitch sent high in the air, shallow right field. Duplantis still coming in, and Duplantis has it for out number 3. So after giving up the walk, Auburn comes away empty-handed. No runs, no hits. In relief, back out there for Auburn. First pitch to Beloso. Strike. Fastball, Anthony's. It's 0-1. Beloso tonight grounded out to Bliss at second base back in the third. Had the solo home run in the 4th inning. Strikeout victim back in the 5th. The 0-1. Missing inside, and they'll say that Beloso held back as they appeal down to Richie Talent, our third base umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still a right-hander warming for Auburn down in the left field bullpen. The 1-1 to Beloso. Opposite field towards the gap in left center, giving chase and diving for it is the center fielder Howe, but coming up with a catch is Ward. Ward again makes another play in left field. Both Ward and Howe having to run quite a ways. Lifted just high enough for Ward to get to it, but I love the dive by Howe.
Will Morrison is the freshman right-hander that's been tossing now for, I'd say, about an inning and a half.
Looks like he's going to get his chance. Auburn going to make a pitching change here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. On the new against Will Morrison, first right-hander for Auburn we've seen so far. After 2 left-handers, the starter Anderson and then Horn.
Yeah, 22nd appearance of the season for Will Morrison. Enters with a 4.74 ERA. At 24 and 2/3 inning of work, he's allowed 24 hits, 13 earned runs, 10 walks, and 15 strikeouts.
First pitch is a bouncing ground ball to Holland at short. He comes up throwing to first in time. Broussard retired quickly, and quick work to record the second out by Will Morrison. 1 pitch and an out. 7-1 LSU leading over Auburn in Game 1. Tomorrow night, Game 2, 7 o'clock. Game 3 on Saturday with a 2 p.m. first pitch. Saul Garza out of the plate. It's a nice Saul from the crowd here at the box after going 3 for 3. Doug Thompson before the game.
Pick to click.
This was the guy to keep an eye on. He had a base hit, came around to score in the 3rd, base hit back in the 4th, and then a monster shot 434 feet back in the 6th inning over the left field landing. First pitch missing outside, 1-0.
Morrison's a sidewinder, nothing to overpower any of the Tiger hitters. 83 to 86 with his fastball.
2 outs, the 1-0. Across the plate to even it up 1-1.
Got a sweeping slider we just saw there. It'll be 73 to 77 miles an hour. That one was at 76.
Two outs and a 1-1 count to Garza. The pitch held back. They appeal down to first and didn't bite on that slider outside to the right-hander. It's now 2-1.
Another hitter's count.
Two and 1. The pitch to Garza. Big swing. Comes up empty. It's now an even count, 2-2.
Here's a question for you, Chris. If you're the head coach of the Tigers, Saul Garza again, 4 consecutive weekends now with a home run. Do you start to push him up in that lineup a little bit more towards the middle?
It's not a bad idea. Certainly would make you consider it. The 2-2 right back to the mound. Morrison knocks it down but has to come up quickly to throw, and he's got it in time to Woolley for out number 3. That'll do it for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody on base. Auburn with 3 outs to work with. We go to the top of the LSU leads as we get to the top of the 9th inning here in Game 1. Fans want to let you know as you leave the ballpark tonight and make your way out of the box, you will notice legendary Tiger Stadium lit in blue. Beautiful sight here on this Thursday in honor of National Police Week. Doug, myself, really blessed to have one of the best vantage points in all of college baseball here, looking over Skip Bertman Field, Alex Box Stadium, and of course in the distance, Tiger Stadium. And again tonight, lit all in blue to honor the men and women in uniform for National Police Week. Matt Scheffler to lead it off for Auburn. Down 7-1 as Aaron George takes over on the mound. So Todd Peterson, pretty good outing tonight. Possibly able to go the rest of the weekend or make another appearance. And now Aaron George going to try to close it down. Missing with a 1-0 pitch upstairs, now 2-0. And George coming off maybe, I guess, arguably, probably definitely his best performance of the season. Last time out. The 2-0 there for a strike, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, at one point in his last outing this weekend, or excuse me, during the midweek game, he had 20 pitches, or 22 pitches, 20. He found the strike zone.
This one misses inside at the belt. Now 3-1 to Scheffler.
George went 2 innings on Tuesday night against UNO. He gave up 3 hits and 1 run.
The 3-1 misses for ball 4. And that will get Coach Paul Maneri up off the bench and walk around in the dugout there. Not what he was looking for. Certainly not what Aaron George was looking for. A leadoff walk here. We'll bring up Rankin Woley to the plate, who's 0 for 2. He also walked.
That's the 3rd consecutive inning that the Tigers have issued a leadoff walk.
George fires, and it's down in the dirt. Garza doing a nice job sliding over to his right to keep it in front of him. It's 1-0.
But I tell you, Todd Peterson, after that leadoff walk in the 8th, was lightning in a bottle. Retired the next 2 on 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts, and got a weak fly ball to right field.
The 1-0 fastball strike, 1-1.
Against Will Holland, who is the best hitter on this team.
Foley, as we said, got aboard back in the 7th inning on a walk. Here's the 1-1. Strike at the letters, and it's now 1-2. Got to third base. Then on a pitch that just got slightly away from Garza behind the plate, he came barreling down the third baseline. Garza picked it up quickly, and Woley was in big-time trouble, and Garza throws down to Hughes. They tag him out. Here's a swing and a miss on an off-speed breaking pitch away from the right-hander. Woley down on strikes. 1 down, 2 to go for LSU here in the top of the 9th.
Great pitch there by Aaron George. By the way, this is his 19th appearance of the season. He entered the game with a 7.36 ERA in 22 innings. He's allowed 26 hits, 18 earned runs. He had 16 walks. Make that 17 walks now to 27 strikeouts.
Auburn with a runner at first and Scheffler. Breaking pitch across the plate to Stephen Williams, and it's 0-1. Williams, by the way, a triple back in the 2nd, came around to score the lone run so far for Auburn. A strikeout in the 4th and picked up a walk back in the 7th inning. The 0-1 from George, missing inside. Garza tracks it down as it moves left to the plate. It's 1-1.
Tiger pitchers tonight have 8 strikeouts.
The 1-1 from George. Ground ball. Going to be handled by Reed at first. His only play is to beat the runner to first base. 2 down, 1 to go. Advancing over to second is Scheffler. So Auburn with a man in scoring position, but down to their final out. I mentioned the fact that Chris Reed playing first base for just the 3rd time this year. 3 games in a row. Can't say enough how important he has been to this team in 2019. Edouard Julian at the plate with 2 down, runner at second. George fires. The fastball misses inside for ball 1. Julian had the sac fly, RBI in the second, strikeout in the fifth. Walker again with 5 strikeouts in his start tonight. The 1-0 from George. Inside and got a piece of Julian, who now will head down to first base. So now runners first and second with 2 outs.
Down to the 9th hitter in the lineup, Kason Howell. One of 2 freshmen in this starting lineup. And no doubt now Saul Garza reminding Aaron George of the score, and of course probably encouraging him to trust his stuff and get one over the plate here.
That pitch to Julian just caught him in the top of the back cleat,
the shoe ball.
Left leg. So Howell stands in. He's 0 for 3 tonight with 2 down, runners first and second, a 7-1 LSU lead. George fires, strike on the outside corner. George takes his time, gets the side from Garza, now comes set. The 0-1 down in the dirt, gets away from Garza, rolls up to the first base dugout. Runner's going to advance to second and third, as that one off the dirt completely gets away from Saul.
See if George decides to go from the windup or stretch. He will toe the rubber from the stretch.
So the wild pitch puts 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. The 1-1 fastball misses high to Howell. It's 2-1. Not the clean finish LSU wanted here in the top of the 9th, but George going to try to bear down. The 2-1 lifted foul and out of play. Right side, and that will even the count 2-2. So the deuce is wild here in the top of the 9th. That will get LSU fans on their feet at the box. Trying to lift up Aaron George. The right-hander looks into Garza. Scheffler at third. Julian at second base. 7-1 LSU leads. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tigers win. Tigers win. 7-1 a final at the ballpark tonight. George gets the big strikeout. And the Tigers with the victory move to 33-21, 16-12 in SEC play. For Auburn, they fall to 31-22, 13-15 in Southeastern Conference action. The final tonight from the ballpark in Game 1, LSU 7, Auburn 1. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.